Hi, I'm Mark Fisher, Director of Education with the Thames Valley District School Board. Before we get into our third social media chat, I'd like to provide you with a brief update about how the rollout of distance learning is happening across the Valley. I'm thrilled to announce that we have deployed 12,000 devices to students in under 2 weeks, and I really want to take time to acknowledge the great work of our IT department, our principals, our teachers, custodians, and EAs to really hit this significant mark. I also want to share that we have almost 700 families that do not have access to the internet or do not want access to the internet. And for these students and these families, we are deploying iPads and iPhones with internet technology, and also the distribution of print materials for those who prefer to learn in a more traditional way. In our previous sessions, we answered questions from students and staff members, and today I think our focus will be on answering questions from parents. The first question comes through email, and it is, I have young children who are home trying to do our Learn at Home while I am also working. How do we balance family and school? Well, I know this is really a challenge for many people as we shift a paradigm of education that has been in place for 100 years and literally are doing that on the fly. But there are guidelines in terms of how many hours per week each student should be engaged in learning. And that goes from 5 hours for our younger students per week to up to 12 hours per week for our high school students. And I really want to make the point that learning doesn't always have to happen in real time. So for instance, if a teacher puts a lesson on at 8 o'clock at night, there's not an expectation that you be completing it at 8 o'clock at night, that you just get those 5 hours in or those 12 hours in some point during the week. And family always comes first. The well-being of our family and our students always come first. And we want you to feel strong and confident during this time that we are there to support you. The next question comes through Facebook. My child requires the use of a Braille writer. Can I get that for my school? Well, I'm also very pleased to announce that this week we are in the process of distributing Braille writers, walkers, tricycles, other very important equipment for students with special education needs. And by this Friday, the deployment of these devices will be complete, and we know how important they are in the lives of our students with special education needs. Our next question comes from a parent on Twitter. I asked for a device for my child, but have yet to hear back from the school. When will I know if I am receiving a device? I'm afraid my child is falling behind. Great question. We will have all devices deployed by this Friday. If you are unable to access our online survey, please reach out to your principal directly through a system website or the school website, and we will make sure that every single student, every single child that needs a device will get a device. We are hoping to complete a second round of technology deployment for those that either missed our first round. But I want to make sure that no student will be negatively impacted because of participation in the COVID crisis. From email, we have the following question. Normally, I try to limit the amount of screen time my children spend. Are there any other ways that are unplugged to learn at home? Well, we have a week at a glance, which is full of really exciting activities for students, none of which involve the internet. So go onto our website, take a look at those. You can print them off or just read them on screen. And they involve physical activity, art activities, all kinds of really exciting real-world things like following a recipe, doing hands-on learning, but really exciting things that are happening. And ultimately, you as the parent will decide what you think the appropriate amount of screen time is. And as mentioned earlier in our chat, there are guidelines for what the expectations for learning are for each student depending on their age. From Facebook, I can't log into my child's Google account. Is there someone who can help me? Well, this is really interesting because, as I said, we have distributed 12,000 devices to students over the past 2 weeks. And we have a dedicated IT staff, many of whom are dedicated exclusively to working on the issues that you may experience with TV DSP software. You can email, and the email address should be coming at the bottom of the screen with your question. You can visit our website under tech support to find troubleshooting tips. And if you are a member of our community that does not have access to a device, please call the following number, 519-452-2005. 519-452-2005. Next question comes from Twitter. A parent states, "I've heard you talking about do no harm in previous videos and in previous interviews. What exactly does that mean?" Well, I want to give you my personal guarantee that no single student in the Thames Valley District School Board will be negatively disadvantaged because of the COVID pandemic. What does that mean in terms of grades and marks? It means that whatever grade your student had or your child had on March the 13th is the lowest possible grade that they will receive. They have between now and June to connect with their teachers, to work hard, and to apply themselves in order to improve their overall standing. And our focus is going to be on student well-being, connectedness, and really teachers providing assessment that will help improve their understanding of concepts and their learning, overall learning, which is quite different from evaluation and marks. Well, that's all the questions that we have here for today. Once again, I'd like to thank all of the families in the Thames Valley District School Board for their patience as we continue to launch our distance learning platform. As I've stated a couple of times, we are taking a system of education that has been in place for over 100 years and literally on the fly transforming it to a digital platform. We understand that your child's education is of utmost importance to you, and it is to us as well. That's why everything we do is in service of students. As a team, we're committed to meeting each challenge head-on and engaging with families in our communities to ensure that you are receiving the resources that you require in order for your child and our student to be successful. Stay safe, stay healthy, and continue to follow me on Twitter. Thank you.